Let me start all over on the project. Okay. I'll start all over on the project. Now, the project, like I said earlier, uh, is what you call an annotated bibliography. Okay? You identify 7 articles on a narrow topic, and you read each of those 7 articles and summarize each article in 1 page. Now, before you provide the summary of the article, of each article, you have to cite it bibliographically and say, this is the article next. This is what the article says. Okay. Now, after you have summarized each article in 1 page, then you're going to write a bibliographical, what do you call it? A summary, an integrated summary of all the 7 articles and show how they are tied together or what conclusions you reached by reading them. Okay. Somebody asked if we could use the broad topics that I had identified. I'm going to pull out those topics again. Okay, so you see what the topics are, like comparative international policy. You can compare, say, the drug policies of France and drug policies of, say, Sweden between 1970 and 1980, or between 1900 and 1955, or whatever you want to do. Historical analysis of policies in different countries. Okay, so you can take, the drug policies about marijuana or about cocaine in Canada from 1960 to 1980, something like that. So what you do in an integrative summary, for example, is after you read and summarize each article, summarize what they're saying. You read the article. And so your integrative summary would be to tie those 7 articles together. Suppose you read about policies towards cocaine in Canada between 1960 and 1980. How can you tie those kinds of articles together? You can identify shifts in policy. That's how you tie them together. Or you can show that policy hasn't changed. You can take a certain number of examples, okay? Drug gangs um, in Brooklyn from 1970 to 1990. And you can take examples of 7 articles that talk about drug gangs in Brooklyn between 1970 and 1990. And then you can identify changes. You can come to the conclusion that things didn't change. Okay, the drug gangs were the same. They behaved the same way. They operated the same way. And of course, you have to identify the way they operated in order to be able to say, from one period to the next, from 1 decade to the other, they just did not change their ways. This is the way they did, or these are the government attitudes towards them. You can take, here we talk about foreign trade in history of drugs, opium and cocaine. You can talk about that, how they smuggled drugs. You can take 1960 to 1990. Did the methods of drug smuggling change? Okay. How did the government address them? Was there any change, or was it just the same? So these are the kinds of things. You don't have to follow these narrow topics. You can look at social and psychological issues of drug use and policies. Okay, social and psychological issues. You can talk about the effects on families in Wisconsin during the 10-year period, 1995 to 2005. Okay, you can do that. And so you have to choose a narrow topic. And when you are done with the integrative summary, you have an integrative summary. That's the first thing I want to see. And then I'm going to see your articles. And then at the end, you have to list those 7 articles bibliographically. So you have essentially one or 2 pages for the summary, 7 pages for each of the 7 articles, I mean, 1 page for each of the articles, so 7 pages for all the articles. That's 9 pages, right? 8 or 9 pages, and then 1 page to list the bibliography of what you read, to be 9 or 10 pages altogether. I don't want to see more than that. If I see more than that, I will read only the summary. I'll read only the first 7 pages of your article summaries, and then the bibliography. That's all I'm going to be looking at. If you put anything else, I'm going to say that you didn't read enough articles, period.
Okay. With that being said, right? With those 7 articles, all of them have to be focused on like drugs or
Yeah,
cocaine or cannabis.
anything that is about drugs. Yes, cocaine, cannabis, opium. I would like to focus on those, or just general policies about drugs, about illegal drugs.
Okay.
Um,
Not
okay.
not anything else outside of that.
Yeah, it has to be about illegal drugs. Okay.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
you can talk about, methamphetamine, for example.
Okay.
It's an illegal drug, and it's also addictive, and also
Okay.
it is psychoactive.
That was the project or the final?
That is the project.
Okay. What?
You have a final exam that is going to be on the 9th. Okay, it's going to be a written exam. It's going to be online. Please read the article, because I'm going to pick an article at random and ask you about that article. So if you're just waiting to go on the internet and get AI to do something for you, you will be getting into a lot of trouble, because you'll be saying things that may not be relating to the article that I asked about.
Okay. How many hours will be final, and when will be the date? Because
It
I
will be
think some
on July 9. It will be on July 9, and it will be about 90 minutes. You have about 90 minutes to do the exam. The
90
exam
minutes,
will, yes, the exam will be open in the morning and close
eleven.
at 11:59 p.m. It's
Oh,
open for
like the same
24
day.
hours. Yes, the same day.
Okay, you can take it anytime in the day.
You can take it anytime of the day, but once you open it, you have 90 minutes.
And once you start it, you can close it.
Once you start, you cannot close. If you close it, it will shut you down.
Oh, got it. Or what about the grade so far? Like the assignment we upload, or you still grading like
I'm still grading them, so
gradually?
yes, I'm grading them, yes.
Okay.
Hi, Professor. I have a question about my grade. I emailed you last week, pertaining
Okay.
to the discussion board. This is Herna Eugene.
Hmm.
The discussion board for Coke race.
Okay.
Yes, I received a 0 out of 100. I would like to know why.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at it again.
Yeah, me as well.
If you submitted something on time, I will give you a full grade. If it's my mistake, if it's yours, like you submitted it a day or a couple of hours after, and I did not see it when I was grading it, which means you may have submitted it a day or two after I graded them, then I'm going to penalize you.
I believe that I submitted that assignment on time.
I will look at it. There's a timestamp. I'll look at it.
Okay, no problem.
Any other questions?
How long is the final exam?
Okay, so it's going to be 90 minutes. It will have the three parts. It's going to be, questions in three parts. It might be more than three questions. But it will be questions in three parts.
3 questions, a writing.
No, no,
You
I
said
didn't say three. I didn't say three questions. It will be questions in three parts. Okay, like question one could have A, B, C. Question two could have A, B. Question three could have A, B, C, D, E. Okay.
so. You're saying 3 parts.
Yeah, three parts, which must
Oh,
contain
okay.
more than one question in each part.
Okay, and it's not multiple choice. You said writing, right?
Yes, no multiple choice.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to ask, right? the template you just explained to us with the 9 to 10 pages for the project. Can
Okay.
you put a template for us like on Brightspace in order like
Is it
while we're
like
doing this so
an
that we can.
example? If you see here, there's something called project sample.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is kind of like the thing you just listed, the 7 article we have to get like to get an idea if just in case we forget like what has been
Uh,
said
I,
here.
I don't know. I don't understand what you mean by that. Um,
Okay, maybe I can rephrase it in other way, right?
I
So,
believe I believe he's trying to ask for an outline
correct,
of
a
yeah.
template. Yes, correct, very much.
okay, okay, all right. Send me an email with regard to that.
Okay, I will send it.
Send an email.
No problem. Because right here is only 3 people, right? So let's say how many people are in class. Maybe they might struggle or they might have like the same question as we have right now. So if there's an outline or the template, so it will be much easier for everyone to just do the project. I
Okay,
believe.
let's see. I see here there's a sample here.
Okay, I see this sample, right? But
Yeah.
like she said, it's kind of like we need an outline. That outline have to
Uh,
have to state like, okay, you have to write like 7 to 9 project paper,
okay.
including like having 7 articles talking about drug, cocaine, and stuff
Okay.
like that. That's
I'm
what
going.
that's what I mean. Like,
I get your point. I get your point. I'm going to.
because when it says only like project, it's kind of like, okay, you don't know what kind of project you have to write, or maybe you might
Okay.
write something the
I
professor
think
doesn't want that. So yeah,
okay. Something is missing then in because I do have such an outline.
all right, no problem.
I'm
Thanks
I'm
so much. I
going.
appreciate it.
I'm going. But please send me an email to remind me.
No,
Okay.
I will send the email for sure.
Any other question?
Nah, so far that was all my question I had.
Okay.
I have another question, Professor.
Sure. 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 Sure.
For the assignments that if we didn't score high on, like
Okay.
the past due June 15 assignment, I got an 85. Is there any way you would give us time at the end of the course to re submit in these assignments to get
No, 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 no. You
To
cannot
have an
expect
extra
any.
grade.
No, I don't do extra grade.
and you don't do extra credit as well?
No, no, no. So please try your best on everything that you have.
Yeah, because I have the same issue, right? Like the first assignment, I think I got 75.
Yeah, because what happens is I already provided you the answer. So for you to go and redo it is it's not fair to other students. I
No, no,
already
no. I'm
provided
saying like
because
if we can correct.
if you get less than 100, if you get 90 or 80 or 70 or 60, I definitely made a comment to say this is what you are missing.
Exactly.
So
Can we fix that and resubmit it at the end?
no, you cannot because I've provided you the answer. I'm not supposed to provide you the answer. That's what it is. Once I make a comment and say this is what you're missing, then you can just go and put what you're missing. That's not right.
But some professors do, like they give you recommendation, like how
Well,
you can fix.
I am not some professors.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, no problem.
And I wanted to confirm that the legal assignment is the last assignment that we have to give in, or is it?
It might be. I don't have the syllabus. Look at the syllabus and see what the last assignment is.
So I'm
That's why
looking
it
at the
says. That's why it says on the on price space. That's the only one. If you upload that, there's no anything else like down the table.
Okay. Fine, fine and good. Fine and good.
what was
Let me
that?
see. I said, fine and good. If that's the last assignment, that is the last assignment. But you have to be doing assignments until I say stop. So that might not be the last assignment.
So that one show that is due on the 28th, but on discussion board, we have assignments due all the way until, I believe, hold on, let me scroll down and see.
No, no, no. Anything
Until
you see
July
that
1st.
on the July 1?
Yeah, July 1st.
Okay, fine. And that might be it. But if the class ends on July 9, you probably have assignments until July 6 or 7.
So if the class ends July 9th, why do we have an assignment due July 11th?
That's an error, so I'm going to correct it.
That's for the final paper, the one that's on assignments as paper. That's due
No,
July
no.
11th.
The syllabus says the project is due July 7. Okay? And there's no assignment, there's nothing in the syllabus beyond July 9. So if an assignment there has a code for July 11, that's an error. I'll go and correct it.
Yes, can you correct it, please? Because all the students are planning to submit it in for July 11th.
I'll correct it. And I see this one said due July 11, 2023. That's wrong. That should be July 9.
July
And
9th or July? Okay.
July 7.
I think July 9th is fair because that's the last day of class.
Yeah, but I have to have time to grade it and to be able to submit your grades. Okay, I have.
But you guys usually, the professors usually have a week or two after to
Oh,
submit
no,
in the
no,
grade.
no. Oh, no, no. Where did you get that information?
He said he's not some professor, so
No, no, no,
that's
no.
why. Since he said that, then I'm quiet
Uh,
because I don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
no, no, no. What do you say?
I don't
The
think you
re-
should
the
put the
re- the
start.
the
I don't think you should,
registrar
Professor.
the reg
I don't think you
the
should put the
regist the
start date as
registrar
July
will not
1st.
the registrar will not let me submit a grade more than 24 hours after the final, after the last day of class. That's what they give us.
Okay.
That is the registrar's rule, so I cannot change it.
Wait.
24 hours after the last day of class.
Oh.
That's what they give us, and we have to comply. Otherwise, you get into a lot of trouble. The provost is going to
Okay.
come.
Let me see if it reflects on mine. Okay. Now it's updated. Thank you. Are you gonna check my Coke race
Is it?
discussion board now, or do I
So,
have to email you again?
send me an email, okay?
I sent
That's
you one last week.
Yeah, I think I saw it, and I probably went and looked at it and I did not grade it. So just send me an email and
An
I
additional
will.
email?
Yeah, send me another email just to remind me.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. And how do you pronounce your last name?
My last name is Ebwe.
Eh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Questions?
No questions, but Professor, may I speak with you after?
Sure.
Thank you.
What you need to do, call me on the phone. Okay, my phone number is there. Call me on the phone.
Oh,
Uh,
is your phone number there?
my phone number is there.
Oh, okay.
My phone number is there.
Professor, can we text message you if we have any questions?
I think I prefer email.
Okay, no
That's
problem.
that's more official.
So your phone number is only for calls?
Um, if you text me, I'll respond by text and tell you to send me an email. Yes, the phone number is only for calls. If you text me, then I cannot respond. I cannot respond to you by
By
text.
text
And
message.
no, because if it's something that requires for me to go at the site of the class, then it's better for me to go to the site of the class and then send an email back to you.
All right, no problem.
Okay. I mean, if you have no other
All right,
questions,
so have a good one.
all right. Have a nice evening.
You too.
It was nice to meet you, Professor. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right.
All right, have a good evening.
All right, have a
Good
good
night.
one.
All right.
Oh, hi, Dr. Egby.
Hello. Who is
Hi,
speaking?
good evening, Dr. Egby. This is Colette Watson.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, what was your question? What was your issue?
Yes, so I remember we spoke. I did send you an email in the beginning of the start of the class,
Okay.
and that first grade for the drugs assignment,
Okay.
I received a 75%, and I remember asking if there was any options to resubmit or revise, and of course I was told no. But what I was wondering is the feedback. It doesn't give me much to go off of as to how I got a
Okay.
75%.
What was the feedback?
The feedback, it says they are legal to use, but still restricted through age limitations and licensing. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
pretty,
Go ahead.
so you agree, yeah, you agreed with the statement, but I didn't add that it was um, restricted through age limitations. I think that was the only difference, that I didn't add in that there were
Yes.
an age limitation.
That's it. I mean, in as much as they are legal, the question was, is there any of the drugs that the government attempts to limit their use? Yeah, they are legal. You can smoke cigarettes. You can drink alcohol as you want. Uh, that's legal. They're available. Okay, but there are restrictions. In those restrictions limit. There are attempts to
Right,
limit
and I
their
do
use.
understand that.
Yeah. So
I
and
do
that
understand that. And in the paper, I
it's
did mention those restrictions.
it's a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical answer, or you can say it's rhetorical, and it's very, very important that you differentiate, the legality. The legality doesn't mean that there's no restriction in their use. There is restriction, and so you cannot advertise tobacco for sure. You cannot. There's no billboards about tobacco. I mean, 50 years ago, there were billboards that showed, advertised tobacco. But about maybe 30 years ago or 20 years ago, I think it's more than 20 years ago, you then have restrictions that you cannot advertise tobacco on a billboard or even, what do you call it, in print media. You cannot advertise tobacco on television, and those ads were pulled out. That's an attempt to limit their use. Because if you advertise them, more people will see them and be motivated or be sort of like want to use them because you are saying there's something good about them. The same way, alcohol, in fact, you cannot even just open a nightclub and sell alcohol. You must go and get a license. You cannot sell alcohol to people that are less than 21. Okay, that's illegal. You can pay a fine for that, or you can be penalized for it. And for me, the what do you call it? The feedback is a means of getting you to understand better how to answer the question. And so once you leave it, you cannot go back and resubmit it because essentially I'm giving you the answer. So that's not hard to.
No, I understand that, but I did in the paper, if I'm not mistaken, and I will go back and read my paper, but I recall stating some of the restrictions of the drugs. I just noticed that just that one line you kind of draw out of the paper and kind of made feedback on that.
Send me an email. I could go and look at it again.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, because I didn't understand why. Well, the feedback and the grade kind of didn't correlate or align.
Yeah, but
And
like
I just didn't understand how
there's a difference
that.
between saying it's legal. That it is legal does not mean that there are no restrictions or that is, the government is not attempting to limit their use. The
Right.
limitations that
Okay.
you cannot advertise it, you cannot sell it to anybody below 21, you must have a license before you can even sell it. Those are attempts to limit their use, but they are still legal. You can use
Right.
them all you want. Okay?
Okay.
All
So
right.
I'll go back on that paper and I'll highlight areas where I did specify
Okay.
that, and then I'll
I'll,
send you an email.
okay, fine. I'll then
Okay.
go and look at it.
Thank you.
I'll look at the record. All right?
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right, then. Bye.
All right. Have a good evening. Bye.
And you too.